Hey, everyone, and welcome. We are here again at Techno Security in Pasadena, California at their conference. We are broadcasting live. I have a really someone I've known for a number of years.
It's about 10, I think.
Yeah,
10 or
we've
12.
worked together at Access Data.
Yep.
We were both there. So yeah, I mean, it's a great thing about the industry is you always see people. And it's always good. I like coming to these. It's more of a reunion for me now than,
absolutely.
than anything else.
Absolutely.
Anyway, it's Craig Guymon. He's with nalyze. Make sure I said that right.
That's correct.
Right. Excellent.
Yep.
I was practicing in my head a little bit. So here at the show, actually, your booth is just like a straight shot there. We can see, hey, your sales guy.
It really is, and he's back.
Yeah, there he is.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, awesome stuff. So tell me a little bit. People that don't know,
Mhm.
how did you get started in this?
Yeah.
In the crazy world. That's my favorite question to ask because
Yeah.
everyone, even though they have similar stories, it's always a little different.
Yeah.
The path that got you to where you're at now.
Yeah, I've never been asked that question. I'm happy to share it with you because my path is kind of unique.
Yeah.
I was an IT guy for
Okay.
about 15 years,
Really?
and I wanted to change careers, so I got a book, and I wanted to get my NC. And I was living in Utah,
Yeah.
and I thought, I'll just read this book and become NC certified. And I thought that was just going to be easy.
Uh-huh.
And what I didn't realize is it wasn't going to be easy, and it wasn't going to be by myself. So I thought,
Right.
I'm going to go to New Berlin, Wisconsin, and go see the guys over at Digital Intelligence, which are also here
Yeah.
at this conference. The Stipich family runs that, and
Mhm.
I never made it. And the reason I never made it is because in Utah, Access Data was based there.
Right. Yep.
And so I went and applied for a job at Access Data, and when I did, I thought, "There's no way were going to hire me," and they didn't. They didn't hire me right away, and so I continued to work in IT for another couple of years, and I got laid off. And I went back to Access Data, and I reapplied, and I got hired, and I got hired in their support department.
Awesome.
So I kind of took a little bit step back in my career a little bit, and I got a crash course in digital forensics, and they moved me to Virginia. And so instead of taking the traditional path of going to school, because back then we didn't have any digital forensic schools in like 2007, 2008, 2009.
Did not exist, right?
Yeah, and then Champlain, of course, came around a few years later. But
Yeah.
so I ended up working for Access Data, and did that for 3 years. And I thought, this is a pretty cool field, and I really liked what I was doing. I thought I would go out on my own and hang my own shingle.
Uh-huh.
And it turned out I really liked talking with people about digital forensics and teaching them about different softwares that can be used for it. And just the journey began there. So
That's pretty awesome.
yeah, it was fun.
That's great. So from IT, because a lot of the times you hear either they came from law enforcement or they were working in a law office and they needed
Yep.
someone on that side, excuse me, to handle that. So no, it's pretty cool. It really it's so AD was your like first role into the industry.
It was, and some guys that were there really brought me under their wing. Guys that are still in digital forensics today. I mean, that was 2010. Guys like Nate Olson, who he still works for Access Data to this day.
Yeah.
Now they're Xtero.
Xtero,
but,
yep.
He's now moved to Texas and was a great mentor of mine. And I've had a lot of really great people that I've worked with, and I've had an opportunity to meet with a lot of really, really intelligent people in this community. There's really not anybody that's not intelligent in this community. So
Yeah, no, it's a sharp bunch.
Yeah.
I feel really dumb.
Yeah.
That's why I just talk in a microphone now
Yeah.
for the most part. Done.
No, I've seen you at conferences, and you talk about some pretty smart stuff. So don't sell yourself short. But
Not anymore. I leave that to the younger generation who's
Sure.
more hip up on it. Not me.
I
I said
understand.
hip up on it.
Yeah.
So now I'm old. I
Yeah.
just really aged it.
I understood because I'm equally almost right there. Yeah.
Now you're one of the few people here that have actually come to an Ohio event
Correct. Yeah.
at HTCI Ohio because
Correct.
I used to be heavily involved in that, and I still try, but it's just so
Sure.
busy sometimes.
Yep.
And you noticed I have a sticker on the back side.
Yep.
I might be able to show you. Yeah, no, the wires are too short.
Sure.
But it's a Bigfoot because
Yeah.
they have the Bigfoot hunting or the Bigfoot conference there at Salt Fork in Ohio.
Yep.
If you've into Bigfoot, looking for Bigfoot, or want to hang out with other people that want to know about Bigfoot, go there.
It really is. And I'll tell you a quick funny story if you don't mind.
No, please.
About my first experience going to Salt Fork State Park,
Oh,
and then years later taking my family there.
Yeah.
So my very first time, I was with Magnet Forensics at the time, and I was working with a gentleman by the name of Brett Matheny, and Brett and I were in the
He's
middle
here.
of the night. He is here at this show as well.
Sign.
And Brett and I were in the middle of the night trying to find our way to Salt Fork State Park. And you've been there, so you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
And so there's this building about a mile and a half from the real entrance that is, I'm not even sure what it actually really is. but it's not the Salt Fork State Park registration office.
Nope, absolutely
And
not.
Brett and I, at about 1 o'clock in the morning, ended up opening the front door, and it was unlocked. And
Yeah.
we thought, oh, this must be the registration desk. And the second door was locked, but we didn't know that, and we set off the alarm. and here we are going to a law enforcement-based focused conference, and
Right.
we're thinking, we're setting off the alarm over here at this place. And we realized, okay, we better get the heck out of Dodge.
Right.
So we get out of there, and our GPS doesn't really work all that well in that area. You can't really find it. You have to really be given instructions.
Yeah, yeah.
Somehow we managed to call the front desk, and we find the right place, and we registered and got in like
3
1:30.
miles in
Exactly.
with no lights whatsoever
Nothing.
on the way in.
Lots of wildlife.
Oh yeah.
And Bigfoot.
You cannot drive fast on the roads at night
No.
because something will be in the road.
Absolutely. There's
Maybe
no doubt
Bigfoot even. Then it's an
And I'm-
episode of, what is that, Harry and the Hendersons, right? Then you fall right into that with
Exactly.
Bigfoot on the roof, taking it back to the lodge.
Yeah.
I mean,
And I understood that reference as well.
yeah, see?
Years later, we went several years in a row to
Mhm.
this conference, had a lot of really good experiences, obviously a lot of Bigfoot references, but a lot of really good digital forensics conversations.
Yeah.
But during the first year of COVID, I took my family to Salt Fork State Park, and it was absolutely empty, and it was fantastic. If
Yes.
you've not been to Salt Fork State Park, one of the better state parks in all of America.
Yeah. It's,
Really, really great.
yeah, it's phenomenal. It's in Ohio, so
Yeah.
I don't think we referenced. Well, I think we may have said it, but
Yeah.
it's got the old, the wood inside the lodge
Mm-hmm.
is, it's you would not expect that. I think in Ohio is really
I
what
didn't.
shocks me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you stay in the main lodge, it's awesome. But I don't know if you're aware they have actually cabins
I've stayed in the cabins.
on the water and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah, those are awesome. We take the kids and boat up there, and we
Yeah.
we tent camp. We like that.
Yeah.
I don't. My back is not.
Yeah.
I'm old.
I'm at that same stage in my life. I got a 16 and a 17-year-old, and they like to tent camp, but I like to cabin camp. So I get a cabin, and then we rent a boat, and then we just boat all over the lake there,
It's such a great lake.
and then we go Bigfoot hunting later in the day.
There you go. Don't listen for odd screams and.
Stuff that's unusual.
We always talked about at that conference because it was always the week before the HTCIA event.
Yep.
There, and we'd always talk about we're going to show up a few days early and just rent a gorilla costume or something like that, and just go running across the edge. You know how it's all the lodge is all like surrounded by trees.
Yeah.
If you just hit the edge and run, of course you might get shot.
You might, but it would be funny,
Oh my gosh, that'd be hilarious.
and it would be one of those really great things that goes down in DFIR history. Was that really Bigfoot, or was that just Kevin in a costume?
Is that Craig mounted to the front of that car that they're taking him out of here? Was that him?
Yeah, I hope not. I don't want to be that guy.
Oh my gosh, so funny.
Yeah, they
No,
have great statues of Bigfoot in there as well.
Yeah, carved out of wood.
Yeah.
No, I recommend checking it out.
Absolutely.
They have horseback riding,
Great
of course,
golf course too.
boating. Yes, which
Yeah.
is insane.
It
The
really
hills,
is.
They're like insane in Ohio.
My daughter will not golf with me anymore because she was on that course. She was driving the golf course. She was probably 13.
Yeah.
And it was really early in the morning and it was wet. And my wife said, "Hey, just bring the golf cart up to us." It was like on hole number 1 or 2, and she slid down the course without any control of the cart. The thing spins around. She
Oh my
stays
gosh.
in it. I'm running after. I throw my club.
Like a
I'm
Chevy
running.
Chase movie.
It was like a Chevy Chase movie, and I thought she's gonna die here. I thought really, but she stayed in there. She stayed pretty calm. I got out, and I thought the cart was gonna go into the woods, but it turned backwards, and then it shut off, and everybody stayed safe. Now I think the marshal saw, and I think he kept an eye on us after that for the whole time we were there. But everybody stayed safe. But my daughter will not drive a golf cart anymore. after
Yeah.
this.
Oh my gosh, that's not a good one to.
But it is very
to do.
steep. Yeah, to your point.
So Megan says Salt Fork has Bigfoot and is supposedly haunted.
Mm.
Not a good place to get lost at night. No, it
No.
is. I would, 100% because it's really creepy at night.
Yeah,
out
I mean,
there.
you're definitely right in the middle of the woods.
Yeah.
You are not close to anything.
No, there's no cities real
Um,
near to light the sky or anything.
No.
Great for night photography if you're
Absolutely,
into that.
and my wife is.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yep.
So I'll talk to you more after because the crowd won't care. But if she has some tips, because I've always wanted to. I'm a wannabe photographer. I mean,
Okay.
I have the nice camera. I have no idea how to use it well. And tips to like getting a good shot of the Milky Way. So,
Oh yeah,
Well,
I'm sure she'd love to talk to you about it.
yeah. Just send me the tips. What can I do? And on we go. All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
So I want to get to the title of this because I
Sure.
don't like to what do they call it, catfish or clickbait people with what the title is, and it's
Sure.
kind of the the converging of digital forensics and incident response. I mean, it is called DFIR, but most of these shows just stop after the DF.
You're right.
They don't go on to the IR.
Yep.
However, you guys do.
Yep.
So talk to me a little bit about what the company is and what it does.
Sure.
Obviously, we don't want to do a commercial, but
Yep.
because we want to solve the problem here. But how does nalyze work into this market?
Yeah. So for a long time, like you said, digital forensics primarily focuses not exclusively on law enforcement, but for a big part of it is law enforcement.
Right.
And what we're doing is primarily helping companies to bounce back from a threat action that's taken place. So how can we more quickly help them do that? Well, we start with quick collection of forensic artifacts using our platform for the purposes of bridging the gap between digital forensics to incident response. So we're using those really great forensic artifacts that we're all familiar with in the digital forensics space, but for the purposes of providing that to an incident response team that can then look at the SRUM, look at the network data, look at the MFT, look at all those different data points and understand how did a threat actor get in, when did they get in, how many other systems did they affect, build timelines out of all that, and then be able to take that intelligence in a very, very short amount of time. We call it drone, which is kind of a unique name because it hovers over the data. But
that's kind of cool. I like it.
But it has nothing to do with actual drones. You and I both love drones.
Yeah.
But so I was kind of intrigued. I was like, oh, do we do drone forensics? But we don't do drone forensics, unfortunately. Maybe someday.
There you go. Never say never, right?
But these analyzers look for anomalous activity. And so in DF, we look for fast processing. Well, for us, we're processing data on the endpoint, and it's processed in 10 minutes. And so in that same amount of 10 minutes, I can look for anomalous activity within the MITRE ATT&CK framework and other areas, web shell attacks and things going on in the MFT, anomalies within that, all sorts of different things, and have a report that shows me exactly what's happening on that endpoint and then lead me to other systems that might also have indicators of compromise. So that leads us to the second point of nalyze, which is ultimately using that intelligence to threat scan proactively across your network to say, do other machines in my environment have these same indicators? If so, I need to know about them so that I can remediate them before they pop or execute.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And that's, and you guys really provide that whole end point solution from where it started and getting that data and then understanding what happened in between there. And there's phenomenal vendors here, phenomenal. But I don't know of anyone else here that's doing just all of that.
No, I don't really think so. And I've been in digital forensics for going on 14 years now, and it's really what brought me back into digital forensics. I took a very small hiatus from digital forensics for 3 months, worked some intelligence side of things, and I saw the software and I thought, that's pretty neat. I'd like to be a part of that. So I've been around for 5 years, but mostly in Europe, and over the last year, we've been getting going here in the United States.
Yep, absolutely. You guys are going to be new sponsors on Cyber Social Hub as well. So we appreciate that, and looking forward to some of the stuff that's coming out there. Talk to me a little bit about some of the problems that you guys really get down and where you're rock solid at, and what the problem that solves is going to help some investigators out there.
Yeah. I think that proactive threat scanning capability is my favorite part of it because anybody can collect data. We collect data more quickly than anybody else, I think. But being able to get that anomalous activity as quickly as we are, and then being able to propel it into a YAR rule or into a Sigma rule or into an OS query rule.
Can you explain those for my slow brain and some of maybe the people that don't understand what those terms mean? What are those terms, and how do they apply into the industry?
Absolutely. So YARA is pretty common in the DFIR community, and it's been permeating the DFIR community for the last 5, 6, 7 years or so. And it's rule sets that allow us to look for IOCs or indicators of compromise or TTPs, techniques and tactics and procedures of threat actors, right? But there's variations in where those threats are taking place at. So you might have more activity happening within the event logs.
Right.
Well, while YARA could be potentially used to look for stuff happening in the event logs, it might be better to use Sigma for that. So Sigma is really, really good at taking data from a lot of event type categorized information and looking for specific types of events within that. Whereas OS Query is fast, it's free, it's totally open source, and it doesn't get as much attention, but it can be used to open up things like registry hives. It can be used to open up databases. It could be used to look at other sources of data that you might not necessarily necessarily use with Yara and Sigma.
Uh-huh.
So having that triad of different rule sets gives you a lot more flexibility to look for IOCs in a lot more areas. So while Yara is important and useful, it's really just one leg of the trip.
Sure, you need multiple legs in order to see
stable.
that clear picture.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep. And that makes perfect sense.
Yep.
So very good. Yep. So it's weird. Oh, it's the guy. I'm like, who's taking a picture of us?
Yeah, our sales guy. Yeah, absolutely, Mr. Brian Burke over there.
It's like, we're not that good looking, but maybe we are.
I'm certainly not. I have a face for radio. So.
Hey, I worked radio.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is, man. So, what do you think of the show so far? How you liking it?
Yeah, this first year in Pasadena.
Yeah.
I'm really glad to be in Pasadena. I have some family ties to this area, but being a first year, things are a little. People are just trying to figure things out right now. I think next year we'll see a lot more people come to this event. I hope we will, because this is a great area. It's really it's a very charming area. Pasadena is. It's not LA. For those of you who don't like LA or don't want to be in LA because of all the traffic or those kinds, this is a really neat area.
Yeah, it is. It's my first time to Pasadena.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, never been here before.
Okay.
So it's interesting. We walked the town the day before yesterday, out a little bit. Went to a. I've been looking for some really good dim sum.
Oh yeah, there is a joint here.
Yes,
yeah.
And oh my gosh, it was so good. My wife's not a big fan of it, but I absolutely love it. And it was really good.
I had a torta this morning that was. I don't get chorizo in the East Coast, and so I come to California or Arizona and I get a bunch of chorizo. This morning I had a fantastic torta, and you can get great Mexican food, great Asian food.
Right. I wouldn't even have thought of that. See, now I have my menu already set.
Tomorrow morning, get yourself a chorizo burrito.
That recommendation.
There you go.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some pretty good talks to here as well. It's I like the venue. Brand new location. And it's always, obviously, my heart's always been with Techno East, just because that's the one I always went to.
Yep.
So this is my third Techno this direction, because they went to, La Jolla. Fourth one now. Yeah, because I went to Denver and then San Antonio when it was in San Antonio a few years.
Yep.
And then La Jolla last year.
Yep.
And then, of course, everyone still makes fun of me for the Denver event. That's the scooter incident.
I didn't go to that one. That's the only one I missed.
I'm glad you weren't there to razz me. Everyone else here, every time they see me, I think
you're the guy in the scooter.
Yeah. Hit his face on said ground with said scooter. Yeah, I crashed it.
No.
I come into the exhibit hall, literally, the second stinking day. The second day, and I have road rash down here, and I have little Star Wars Yoda Band-Aids on. So, well, how the crowd is really sympathetic here. Yeah, there was no sympathy. It was, I got, and Jennifer, who coordinates the event, was taking pictures literally, it's still going on. It was just a couple months ago. She's posing next to this scooter. Whatever city she was in, she was, I didn't crash this one. I was like, what? It's so random.
Oh, no.
I get these texts out of nowhere.
Wow, that's terrible.
Yeah.
No, I refuse to ride them.
Yeah.
A few years ago, we were at a show in Nashville, and they were really popular in Nashville as well. And I'm just a risk-averse guy. I don't even ride the Segways.
Yeah, no, I won't. No, I won't do it ever again. I might.
I barely get in a car.
I probably would, because I'm not that smart. The concussions continue as we go. But I think now she picks venues based off, do they have scooters in that town? No? Okay, we can have the event in Pasadena.
It's Kevin safe.
Yes, there are no scooters in Pasadena, which is nice.
No, I love this area. I'm glad they chose Pasadena.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to get to. You can get here from Burbank, or you can get here from LAX. It's not too difficult.
Yeah.
Beautiful area.
Yeah.
And my family actually lived up the road in La Cañada for several years.
Oh, wow.
My great-grandfather was an animator for Disney up there. And so
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Yeah. So you got to see his drawings, and you still have some of his original set, or does the studios own those?
No, he had cells that he gave to his grandkids. He passed away 20 years ago or so. So it's been a little while, but he was an animator from the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. He retired in 1977. His name was Kenneth Anderson.
Wow.
And he
very cool.
Started off as just an architect.
I don't think I knew that about you. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, he was a neat man. He actually has an interview on one of the Snow White DVDs.
Really?
He drew Dopey. He created the character, the dragon from Pete's Dragon.
No kidding.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
He was a big Loch Ness fan. He probably would have been a big Bigfoot fan. He liked those kind of conspiracy things.
No kidding.
And he wrote a book about Loch Ness called Loch Ness and the Nessie and then Loch Ness is what it was called. Yeah.
Wow.
Became a movie later after he passed away.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah, he was a really fascinating character.
Great story.
Yeah,
that's phenomenal. Did the DNA pass any of the art skills?
My brother got the art skill. My daughter seems to have the art skill too.
You got the good looks. That's okay.
Yeah,
you can handle those. That's all right. It's a good trade-off, I guess. So.
I didn't get the art, unfortunately, but yeah, it was great to see. I've got some of the pictures. He would just whoop up Mickey, or he'd whoop up Dopey, or in a heartbeat.
Wow.
You know? And
that's amazing.
You know, as a kid, we thought his house was humongous, and it had all this big garden around and everything, and it was beautiful. But I've seen it now since, and you know, it's just like everything else. Everything else seems like it gets smaller, but we've just gotten bigger.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I know that's true in my case for sure.
I was out eating steak last night and really indulged. It was really good. But yeah, absolutely.
There are some advantages of being on the road, and you get to go out to some places, but it does add to the girth.
Indeed. There's not much healthy eating out on the road.
Not a lot.
I make excuses. It can be done.
Yeah.
But they're so delicious. The bad stuff's so good. It's so good. Also, hey, I don't know if you're going, but I think we might go. Things that are happening next door. This is really a great venue. It's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, next door is America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
It's like filming like the final people.
Yep.
Today.
Yeah,
or is it live?
I think it's live.
It is live.
And you can sign up on an app, apparently, that's come around to my attention that you can sign up on the app. I haven't chosen to do it just because I don't know how long you have to be in there, but it might just be an hour at a time. But if you're interested in America's Got Talent, it's a great opportunity. Just go right next door.
Yeah, I think my wife has talked me into going. So
yeah,
I figure I don't watch the show, but my kids do, and
yeah, I don't watch it either. I do occasionally get clips on YouTube of a person who sometimes does extra well, and I think, oh wow, I've got to watch this. And so sometimes you see those moments, and it's happening right next door to us.
Yeah, I know.
So why not be a part of that?
I mean, not just like you walk out and have to walk down a little bit.
Right there.
You walk out the hall, because we're in the main exhibit hall. That's why it's so loud in here. And you see the trailers for the stars are like right there.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I'm thinking about I'll be
Howie Mandel.
Yeah,
right there.
I'll be that guy like pushing my face against the glass, like, where is he? I don't see him.
Yeah. Let me in.
They'll spot me real quick. Yeah, that guy.
You did. No go on him. Kevin DeLong, check him off. He's not allowed here.
Right on. So, your website, people can go there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Learn more about you guys.
Finalize.com.
Yep. And they actually complete the whole DFIR.
Yeah.
Digital Forensic Incident Response, if you didn't know.
Yep. Absolutely. More the IR. I always tell people we collect those artifacts to allow IR teams to remediate cases in under 4 hours.
That's awesome.
That's the goal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty quick.
Yeah, we think so.
I think so too.
Yeah.
There we go. Awesome. Craig, thank you so much,
absolutely.
man. It's great seeing you. Thanks for coming on to the show.
Always a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be going live probably another couple times here at the event today, and tomorrow is going on here in Pasadena, California. So make sure that if you guys are on our home channel, which is YouTube, make sure you hit the little bell, hit the little thumbs up there also. And if you want to subscribe to us, hey, that would be awesome. It helps the algorithm to help digital forensics overall. If you don't like us, then don't. That's just how it works. Because we do broadcast out to Twitter, LinkedIn, not to Facebook today. And all of these are now on Spotify and Apple podcasts. So
that's fantastic.
We'll start there and see how just the audio side of it goes. And go from there. So that's where you can find us. So again, thanks for hanging out with us again, Craig. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
All right. Take care, man. Thank you.